Hey, good morning. BJ and Joe Ondo from Out and About on the Recumbents. And we are on the Rock Island Trail here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And today we're on a little bit of a mission. We have to go over and get some yarn. Joe's favorite hobby is actually not triking. That's her second favorite. It's actually crocheting, and she's really good at it. And she made us these crochet bonnets that have extra extension out the back, you know, to cover your neck in the sun. And we went up to Ted's Bicycles, where we pick up a lot of accessories and stuff. Great place here in Colorado Springs. They don't do recumbents, sadly, but for everything else, they're quite good. To get a couple of the metal rack extensions for me to be able to redo my seat the way they had the rack mounted. And so we got that all done. But he saw our hats and just said, man, he would just love to be able to buy one. So we're going to go get the yarn, and Joe's going to make him one and see what he thinks of it. And Joe will probably only charge him for the yarn and whatever it takes, because she just likes crocheting a lot. That's her thing. And okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of a recording today, and take you with us over to Walmart on Platte Avenue, basically, here in Colorado Springs. Alright, babe, that's Joe in front of me with Stuart, her wingman. Stuart the Minion, her wingman. And alright, so we'll this is the one of the very few shady spots on the Rock Island. Rock Island's mostly totally open, but yeah, this is just a little glen area here. And right over there is a very busy street. That's Constitution Avenue that the Rock Island Trail kind of follows along. Elementary school up here, and sorry, I have to switch hands. I got a gear down. Got a pretty good. Well, it's not a horrible incline, but it's straight. You know, I mean, it's up constantly for a little while. Up to, according to my percent thing on my new XOSS bike computer GPS. It's anywhere between about 1.0 to so far about 3.2 or something like that in grade. This is I don't know what the name of this park is. I have no idea. They used to have a name on here, but they finally put a playground in it. Mostly it was used, you know, for a couple of summers. It was used for soccer fields, but I haven't seen the soccer teams here this year. So I guess they changed their mind, or they tore it up too bad or something. This is where they used to have a porta potty, which they really need to put back, city of Colorado Springs, Colorado. That is one bad thing about the city. They, our restrooms here, I mean our parks here, very few of them have restrooms. And only one of them has a really good, well, that's not true. Some of the older ones along Monument Valley Park are pretty good still. And yeah, like I said, we're going up the incline here. Now, it has a underpass to go under. Let's see, what is this? Circle Drive here, but if it's rain, it hasn't rained much, so it might be open. Usually, it's flooded out. It's a terrible design. You know, it's crazy. They build these underpasses on these trails, and they don't put in, you know, a serious drainage system. They put in one drain, figure, oh, that should do it, and it never does. When it rains, almost every one of these trails that have these underpasses, are covered in 6 inches to, 2 feet of water. So, very bad design. But for some reason, which they keep telling me, I don't understand why they can't go overhead, use a bridge, like they did, bridge walkway, like they did over I-25. I mean, if you can do it over 8 lanes of I-25, you should be able to do it over 4 lanes of Circle Drive here. But there's some other, it's like they need to go over or under Powers Boulevard at the end of this trail. That's where it ends. And they keep saying they're going to go under, but that's another 8-lane special. But you can't convince them that, yep, see, it's flooded out totally. And it hasn't rained seriously in, at least four days. I mean, it's done a couple of, like a half an hour sprinkle, over the last couple of days. But, yeah, it's totally flooded out. So now we have to go up and use the crosswalk, which we have right turn on red, which makes it insanely dangerous for pedestrians and bicyclists or trikers to cross. Say hi, Joe. All right. Gotta hit the light here. Yeah, I don't even know if it's working. Guess we'll find out. It's not lighting up and it's not beeping. Okay, there we go. Nobody turning, so it's safer than normal. Like I said, as the sign says, Rock Island Trail. The Rock Island Trail, that's the underpass right there. The Rock Island Trail goes currently goes from Jackson Street over towards where we live to Powers Boulevard. I think it comes out to about 8 to 10 miles long. And it is the main east-west trail that we have in the entire city. So you would think it would be a tier 1 priority trail and get howdy and get a little more love. You think they'd want to make, because most of it's concrete. They just got a few stubborn old patches that for some reason they've decided to leave asphalt, and it's getting old and cracks and really bumpy. And yeah, like I said, that's Constitution Avenue out there. And when the Harleys roll by, you will know it. You hear them. But like I said, most of this trail is a little backwards there. Yeah, I'm still using the GoPro Zero. Well, it'd be the GoPro Hero Zero, which meaning it's the original GoPro, because my friend Alan Beauchamp gave it to me with a plastic case. Sorry, I had the camera tilted back a little too much. So yeah, he gave it to me with the plastic case, and the plastic case seems to really help with the noise level. But my daughter Jen, thank you very much. Well, our daughter Jen, she found me a case for my GoPro Hero 3 White. Howdy. There's a Good looking little guy right there. And yeah, it's funny, some kids, they see the trikes and they go crazy. They're like, yeah, that's so cool. And other kids are like, what the heck is that thing? Yeah, it's like, you know, grow up and get a bike. No, we're in our second childhood. We like our trikes. But we like our trikes so much, I'm selling my, if you know anybody that wants a really good recumbent for a very inexpensive price, I am selling my 2008 EZ1 Super Cruiser Light, which means that it's the aluminum frame version. Actually, it's all alloy. The wheels are alloy, the frame is aluminum, you know, so it's lighter than the steel version that most people have. And I am selling it for a measly $300. And two reasons. Number one, I've just decided that I'm a trike guy. I just like the trikes. It's just so much for us. The trikes just work perfectly. And the other reason is, well, I need a set of front fenders for my trike. And ICE accessories are very good. That's the manufacturer of our trike. ICE stands for Inspired Cycle Engineering. That's ICE. And we have ICE trikes. But they're very, very proud, which means they're very expensive on their accessories. And the front fenders for this trike are $225, not counting any labor to have them put on, if I can't do it myself, which I think I can. But yeah, we're gonna turn here, go off the trail onto Shelton Road. Fortunately, it has a bike lane, but we have to go up a huge hill, boy. I mean, it's a biggie. Joe's gonna slap it into 4 out of 5 on her e-assist and just fly up that puppy. Okay, remember, it's a street, it's tar, it's bumpy, it's old asphalt, so not going to be a totally smooth video here. I've got to switch hands to gear up. It's weird because, nah, you know what, I'm not going to gear up, man. I'm just going to keep it because I'm going to have to gear down for the upslope here. Yeah, because right now, my grade meter says it's 1.2. And then it went to, it's really strange. It goes to 0, and yet it's still climbing, you know. Yeah, I got to drop gears here. Okay. You know, here we're going up this, okay, now we're going 3.1, no, 3.7, 4.1, 3.5, 3.4.4, 5, 5.4, 5.8. Yeah, I'm going up more and yet it's going down. That's so weird. I can't quite figure out how this machine works. Because right now it says I'm doing 3.8 and back there was 5.4. And yet I'm still going uphill, you know. And it says this is 4.2, 4.8, 5.1, 5.3. Back to 4.9. 6.3, 6.7. It's weird. It jumps all over the place. And here I'm climbing, and yet and now it's back to 2. Of course, we are going down finally. You got to gear up here, get across. If I can't, nope, ain't gonna make it. Okay, I'm going to shut this off because this downhill is just too dangerous. I need both hands. Okay, well, I'm back. We're now here at Walmart, and Joe went in to get the yarn for that hat I was telling you about. I'm over here in the shade, and on the side of the building. Hopefully the security people won't be totally stupid since she is shopping. But it's just too hot to be sitting out in the sun in the parking lot. And I don't have a car with air conditioning, so yeah, so these are folks here that are all waiting to get tires and batteries and the light stuff that Walmart Automotive here does. This is the Walmart on are you looking for service?
I just need some air.
Some air? Go ahead and pull up to the far right one that says move. Yeah.
Okay, far right.
Yes, ma'am.
Right now?
Yeah, go ahead. And yeah, so again, this is BJ and Joe Ondo from Out and About on the Recumbents. That's both our YouTube channel and our blog on blogspot.com. http :// BJANDJO.blogspot.com. Yeah. And I don't take video. I've taken a lot of videos since I'm doing this camera testing, but I don't take videos all the time. So you can catch other rides that we just take photographs on our blog. Okay, because as much as I do like the YouTube stuff, I still like a good old-fashioned blog where I can write down what I want and kind of add to things. So yeah, basically, like I said, we're in the shopping center here over at what is this? I don't know if this actually has a name. It's just kind of the Walmart center a super center on Platt Avenue. So yeah, I would have liked to have recorded that, going down that great big hill, but no, I'm not that brave because I have the handheld, and you could easily hit 30-35 miles an hour going down that hill. Luckily, we don't have to go back that way. We will a little bit. We're going to backtrack over to Sonic to get our iced tea for our brown bag lunches. But then we'll probably take the Bijou Street bike lane home and go that way, unless we decide to head over and pick up the what am I trying to think of? Basically head over and pick up the well, they call it the Canal Trail, but it's also the Southern Homestead Trail. So yeah, so that's kind of what's going on there. But yeah, I don't know for sure, so I'm going to go ahead and turn you off here so you don't have to keep talking to me. Alright, so we will get back to you a little later, and I hope you're having a really great day. Alright, well, we'll see you a bit later. Bye. Okay. All right. Well, we're leaving the drive-in after a really good large glass of iced tea. Go with our brown bag lunch. Now I don't know where we're going. Where are we going from here, Shug? Well, I guess we'll head this way. So right now we're on the Weber Street bike lane. So we've kind of come full circle. So I guess what we're going to do is probably head over to the the Greenway and either go north or south, not sure which way, but that's the Pikes Peak Greenway, which this portion of it is known as the Monument Valley Trail. So we have to take a couple little back streets here because Jackson Street there, where they want you to go, is it's just way too busy, and there's no room, you know, for a bicycle. So you have to share it with the cars, and you know, these trikes are a little bit wider, you know. I mean, basically your bike, if you measure from, you know, from pedal to pedal across the frame, yeah, it's probably 6 inches wide, you know. Well, my trike is probably about 32 inches wide, and Joe's is probably about 33. Mine might actually be 31, because she has quick release front wheels, and the quick release levers stick out a little more. That was one of the reasons we ended up having to get a storage area for our trikes, because Joe's trike wouldn't fit through the door to our apartment, and which is okay, because this trike she has now has e-assist, and I'm going to tell you, we live in a second floor apartment, so that means, you know, I was having to haul a, you know, 45 pound or more a trike, you know, up a flight of stairs, you know. And being very close to 68 years old, that's just getting to be a little too much. So even though it is a pain in the bottom end to have to walk 1.2 miles down to the storage unit, it's worth it. That, and of course it costs us another $65 a month, which doesn't help our budget, our meager budget any, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So, but yeah, it's a beautiful day today. I mean, there is not a cloud in the sky. It is absolutely stunning. But I think it's warmer than they said it was going to be, because they were talking about it only being 80, and we went past one of those digital thermometer, you know, bank type signs, and it was saying 89. And it feels more like 89. But yeah, as you can see, okay, I take that back. There's one tiny little cloud up there. Otherwise, it is just a deep, deep, deep Colorado blue sky today, boy. Absolutely beautiful. Don't think we have to worry at all about clouds, because there ain't, I mean rain, because there ain't no clouds to rain from. Maybe way later this afternoon or something, but I don't think it might make it all the way through the day today. Let's head over back towards the trail over here.
Okay.
Maybe we'll haul over to the Mesa Springs or something. Mainly, our main thing today was that we wanted to get some yarn for that hat Joe's making. So we had to go all the way over to Walmart, a real Walmart. Our food shop is one of those neighborhood marketplaces. Well, you know, they have food. They don't have Walmart stuff. This is our apartment complex right here at the intersection of Wood and Van Buren. And they just put out a brand new sign. It looks so much better. There you go, the Springwood Residence. It's really not a bad place. It's old. you know, and you know, it could use some work. Like, you know, I mean, our kitchen cabinets need to honestly be completely refurbished and that type of thing. But other than that, it's very comfortable, it's quiet, and it puts us right here on the Pikes Peak Greenway. If you go, if you go left, you head south on the Greenway. If you go right, you head north on the Greenway. So right now we're running down, we're heading south. We're going to head over to the Mesa Springs Greenway, which is off of the Pikes Peak Greenway here. As you can see, it's very popular. Monument Valley Trail going through. There's a great shot of Pikes Peak right there without too many telephone wires in the way. Like I said, lots of bikes, and this is the Popsicle Bridge here. And they call it Popsicle because they basically the group Ride for Kids started stopping here, and the ride leaders brought popsicles. So they named it, when they fancied up the bridge, because it used to just be an old utility bridge, but when they fancied it up, they you know, they put the wood benches and stuff like that over there. They named it the Popsicle Bridge. And that goes over Fountain Creek, which is over there, and those past those bushes and trees and all that kind of stuff. So it's very heavily greened. Kind of aim you over there because across the way here is nothing but the Colorado Springs City transportation hub. So it's, you know, it's lots of trucks and garages and stuff like that. So, but yeah, this is a newer part of this trail. It used to be just a real tiny little, barely 3 feet wide dirt trail. But at least this part up here to the bridge, they've gone ahead and concreted. Now, somewhere, and who knows when, they talk about concreting from the heading more south all the way down to Monument Valley Park, and right now the concrete ends on over here by the Fontenaro Street trailhead. They have a new parking area for you know, for runners and bikers and, well, bicyclists. Bikers are motorcycle riders, okay? So I don't care what they say. Bikers are motorcycle riders. Bicyclists ride bicycles. Whether you have an e-motor or not, you're a bicyclist. Unless you're like us and you have 3 wheels and we're a tricyclist. I know, and a partridge in a pear tree. So, yeah, like I said, it's just it is a stunning day in southern Colorado today, boy. Now this is definitely an urban trail. It's not a rail trail or anything like that. But the road we're going to hit right off the bat here is called Recreation Way because the City of Colorado Springs Park and Rec. Now you got these insane people that don't let you know they're coming, and they'd be and they'd be the first to give you hell if you accidentally jumped in their way. Okay, we're going to turn here, and that over there, just past where that other bicycle is the Fontenaro Street trailhead. That's part of the Legacy Loop. Now we're going down. This is technically Fontenaro, and we're going to go up, and the Mesa Springs Greenway heads either north or south. But we're going to catch the the new concrete they did. They just redid this whole intersection. So they redid the concrete here. And they're doing the other side. That's what that big mess is. Don't know how long that's going to take to get it done. They've been working on this for a long time. But since they're down to one lane each way, it's really nice that they went ahead and put this concrete in, the concrete trail here in, because that way it makes it a lot easier for us to stay out of traffic and not because it's all uphill, so we're going to slow people up fiercely. Man, I should have geared down one more. But you never want to gear down uphill when you're going up a hill, because that's too hard on the chain and the drivetrain components. Just have to tough it out and wait till you get to where you can start downhill a little bit and shift easy. I'll leave it up whether you want to go north or south. It's at your discretion. You have the calm. Joe says we're going north. Now supposedly down the road here is the Catamount Institute. I have no idea what that is. Sounds impressive. That's Fontenero Chestnut, and then it turns, when you cross the street, it turns into the new south extension of Centennial Boulevard. Alright, so we're on the north, heading north on the Mesa Springs Greenway. As you can see why they call it a greenway. Lots of green. Lots of water. That's kind of funny because usually they don't water this late in the day. But they have a lot of land they have to take care of, so they may have to water every section, whenever they can to get through the whole thing. As you can kind of see, it's leaving gigantic puddles, which are no big deal for Joe because Joe has fenders. Whew, I should have stayed on I went over in the grass and it's really wet. But Joe has fenders, so that's like I was talking about earlier. I'm trying to sell my Sun EZ1 Super Cruiser Light, the aluminum frame version, a recumbent bicycle. So it's the same style, the bigger seat, laid back, but it's a two-wheeler instead of a three-wheeler. And I'm trying to sell it for $300, which is a great price. If you tried to buy a new one, you couldn't get the aluminum frame. You have to get the steel. They don't make the aluminum frame anymore, and it would cost you about $1,200. That's right, $1,200. So I figure $300 for the aluminum version is actually quite a steal. So if you know anybody looking for a great deal on a bike, I don't have any idea what it would cost to ship it, but I can recommend our dealer here in town, which is called Angle Tech, and they are at www.cycledifferent.com. Talk to Josiah or Kirk, the owner, about setting up the possibility of for packing and shipping. It won't be cheap, but even if you had to pay $300 what you paid for the bike, you're still getting a killer deal, because like I said, a new one would cost you $1,200. So it'd only be half price even if it cost you $300 to ship it. So it's a killer deal. Alright, that's enough of my used bike salesman's pitch. But I'm desperate and want a set of fenders really bad. Really bad. because they do a pretty good job of plowing our trails now. They didn't for a lot of years, but they're much better at it, you know, through the winter time. But the problem of it is that the plow is only 8 feet wide. Well, the trails are 12 feet wide, these concrete trails. And so that leaves, you know, 2 foot of snow, no matter how deep it is, on each side. Well, once the sun comes out, it starts melting all over the place. So these trails are like real thin, real shallow rivers or real shallow creeks. And if you don't have fenders on a trike, you get wet. I mean wet. Because the front wheels will kick it up on you big time. As you can see, I don't have fenders. Now I do have a back fender. That came with the trike when I bought it. Used from Angletech, of course. So I'm going to race up here and see, Jill has fenders on her front wheels. And they have little mud flaps on the end. So they do a really good job of keeping the crud off of her. But like I said, they're $225 without shipping. So I need $300 to be able to afford to have it shipped, because they come from England, where ice trikes, our trikes are made. A place called Falmouth, I think that's how you pronounce it. Falmouth, Falmouth, England. Wherever that is. I was stationed in England back in the middle 70s at a base called RAF Upper Hayford, and I was a security policeman in the Air Force. Basically, kind of a glorified, it's a glorified title for an airplane guard. Of course, we did have nuclear areas, you know, nuclear weapon storage areas, so that mission was a lot more stringent than just guarding the aircraft out on the apron. But yeah, I was on D flight, so I worked a whole lot of midnight shifts. Now, the only bad thing about the north version of this trail is that it ends. Right up here where you can see that wall is that's basically the really expensive fence for the American Furniture Warehouse Company building, which is huge. I mean, it's huge. And that's where it currently ends, because if you go straight on the side of the wall, well, you're on the side of I-25, which you don't want to be if you're on a trike or a bicycle, okay? You don't want to be anywhere near I-25. It's like totally insane. Probably wouldn't survive more than two seconds. So we go up here and turn around. And then we have to figure out where we're going to go from there. Oh. Alright, here we go. Now her trike turns a lot sharper than mine does. So I kind of have to get up here in the verge, as Gandalf would call it. If you remember the phrase he used when he snatched up Sam from outside the window, one of the quotes he says was, "It's a little late to be trimming the verge." And that's what he meant, you know, because Sam was a gardener. Joe's stopping for a drink here, so I'm going to do the same thing.
Can you hold that while you drink?
Yeah. See how bad this water tastes. Actually, it tastes just fine. So the water at the driving in the old type white basin, what you call it, fountain, is actually good. Been a little afraid to try it, but it's actually just fine. There's a nice Harley, got a good rumble, and got a squirrel over here in the shade. He'll probably haul before I can sneak up on him. Yeah, there he is. Oh, went on the other side of the tree. So now we have to figure out whether we're just going to head back to the barn or go ahead and head south. You want to head south to the bridge over I-25 and stop there, and we could eat our snack. And yes, we eat a lot because Joe's a type 2 diabetic, like I said, so I have to make sure when she's exercising, you know, she uses up a lot of carbs, and so I have to make sure about every 2 hours that she has something to eat. Absolutely no more than 3 hours. So our rides are, that's why we don't ride with other people, because our rides are a bit restrictive. Because between Joe's diabetes and my insane bladder, that, believe it or not, has something to do with my arthritis I have. I have ankylosing spondylitis, and it can affect different organs in your body. And sadly, that is one that it's affecting. So I just cannot ride as long as other people without finding facilities. So we know where all the facilities are on these trails or streets, or, oh boy, be careful, Joe, they got loose dogs. Yeah, we dread, they're supposed to keep them on a leash, but they don't give a damn. Just gotta hope it doesn't bother us. But, hello? Try to blow a mosquito off the camera. Hello. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross back over Fontanero, and we're going to continue on the Mesa Springs Greenway till we get down to the walking bridge. Actually, it's a pedestrian bicycle bridge that goes over all 8 lanes of I-25. And I mean, it gets up there. It's probably about 30 feet high. And it has a pretty wild ramp set up to you know, for you to be able to ride or walk up to it, up to the top of it. So from there we'll probably head for the barn. We'll stop in the Monument Valley Park and eat our snack. Joe has a basically a homemade trail mix made of almonds, raisins, and a high protein dark chocolate sugar free low carb cereal. And I use the Triscuit wheat crackers with just a little bit of dry Parmesan cheese on it for my snack. Oh, we got the water right on us here. You have to be real careful. Gonna have to time this one perfectly. or we're gonna get really wet. You better hit it, babe. Oh no, Joe's gonna get wet, and I'm gonna get just as wet here pretty quick. Unless that one goes down, I gotta wait for this one. Come on, time yourself, time yourself. There we go. Go back, go back, go back, go back. Come on, hurry up. Ah, there we go. I got ahead because this one's catching up with me. They said it's kind of funny because they don't usually water this late in the afternoon. I don't know where this one's going. This one ain't budging. Well, I'm going to have to hope that it goes that way eventually. Okay, got to burn it, burn it, burn it. I'm going to be very wet. Oh, man, yes, like that. Not only from the water on, not only from the sprinkler, but also because my wheels don't have fenders. So I got water all up me. I gotta check the camera here real quick and see if there's water on the camera. Whoa! Now I'm going downhill here, and I got to get the brake on real fast. No, I don't.
This felt kind of good, but
I don't see any water. Sorry about the orange blob you saw. That was wiping the lens on my jersey. Like I said, I don't think well, we got some traffic coming up. Colorado just passed what they call the Idaho stop law, which means that if there's not traffic, a bicyclist can, okay, we got a green crossing light here, but a bicyclist or a walker can, well, I don't know, I guess it doesn't actually do pedestrians, but a bicyclist or a scooter rider or an electric wheelchair, okay, they can treat a stop sign like a yield sign. As long as, like I said, as long as they check, make sure there's no traffic in the intersection. And they can treat a stop light like a stop sign, as long as there's no traffic in the intersection. Problem is, a lot of people take advantage of that ride bicycles and say, oh, well, if I look, I don't have to even slow down. Yes, you do. You are supposed to slow down, look both ways, make sure there's no traffic in the intersection. Because if you get hit, it's your fault, not the driver's. That's very important. Because if you think you're going to be able to sue somebody because they hit you, you're not, because you're at fault. Like you said, that's why they call it a greenway, lots of green. They do a pretty good job of keeping this green, because it can't be real easy, because it's been very hot lately. You know, high 80s to mid 90s, well, mid 80s to mid 90s. Luckily, we rarely get to 100 here. It has happened, but it's pretty rare. Now, 40 miles south of Colorado Springs is the city of Pueblo. Not quite as big as the Springs, but they get hot there. 100 degrees in the summertime is not uncommon for Pueblo, and as high as 115. A bit like living in Arizona, with a better, you know, with a nicer view. Because it's not really a desert, it's what they call semi-arid, which is what Colorado Springs was when it first started. Now though, thanks to General Palmer, the city founder, we have a lot of trees. He brought in over 1,000 trees to plant around the original part of Colorado Springs. It's like they just got done watering around here. We got another puddle over here. Afternoon. So when we get down to the I-25 bridge crossing, I'm going to go ahead and shut her down and call it a day for the video. And just want to say, if you're one of our subscribers, we really appreciate it. It's really great to have somebody watch what we do. Makes us feel like it's really worth doing. Although we do it just, as much for ourselves as anybody else. And our grandkids and great-grandkids, because they all live in different states, and this way they might be able to see a little bit about their great grandparents and great-grandparents. We have to get across Platte here, which is always a booger. Platte is a very major east-west auto traffic road, and the signal is very short for us to be able to get across, and very long for everybody else. And on top of that, we have to be careful because cars want to turn to get right over here to pick up south and north I-25. So they will come out of this side street here and try to cut us off. That's just kind of the way it is. Don't have any choice. But yeah. So like I said, we're just waiting for our turn. Hopefully it'll be pretty quick. There we go. We got to get while the getting's good. Oh, ouch. Yeah, there's some pretty good cracks in the concrete here. And I do have to apologize. My mount is like it's like a gun mount, it's got that gun grip on it. But even though it clicks into different positions, it doesn't have an adjustment to where you can tighten it up. So it does have a little bit, if I hit a bump, it does have a little bit of a hop if I don't have my finger holding it down. I try to do that, but sometimes I forget. I admit it. Like I said, we're still on the Mesa Springs Greenway, and it goes from the ending up there by American Furniture Warehouse down to, I think that technically that street is Platte, but it's a little more towards the west side of Platte Avenue, and that's where it dead ends. From there you have to pick up back streets and go over and pick up the Walnut bike lane to take you over to the very, very short Cacharis Trail, and then from there you pick up America the Beautiful, the main park downtown. That dog's having a good time with that traffic cone. But it's a very pretty trail, in its own way. The only problem is a lot of times there's a lot of homeless on it. And you know, I mean, that's the way it is. They got to have some place to hang their heads in the sun, you know. And okay, well, we're coming up on the bridge here. And like I said, this bridge goes all the way over. If you haven't seen it before on one of our videos, which if you've been watching for a while, you probably have. As you will note, well, we don't have a car or a truck anymore. Our trikes are our only transportation. So we're very limited on, you know, where we can go. Because if you get too far north in Colorado Springs, there are some trails, but they're all very short, you know, a couple of miles at the most. And it's really not worth going up extreme north like towards Monument, you know. We only have one trail, and that's the New Santa Fe Trail, but it is all, you know, like 1 inch, 2 inch deep gravel trail. And it's great if you've got a, you know, a fat tire bike or a mountain bike with knobbies, but it doesn't work so hot with a trike, because trikes are heavier, so they sink, as you can see. Sadly, there's a homeless person. Now we're over the railroad tracks. So yes, the trains can come under. Now we'll be going down, and we're going into Monument Valley Park. Playground, community swimming pool, massive amount of pickleball courts. That pickleball seems to be taking over from tennis, which is kind of sad because I played tennis for years. Now I haven't played in years, but it's still kind of sad because, you know, I enjoyed tennis. I really enjoyed it. I even played a little bit in a couple of leagues. So yeah. So that's over the bridge here, and now we're gonna use the facilities, as I said, and yeah, and then come back over to the park here. Try to find a bench in the shade, because they have a bunch of picnic tables over there, but you can't use those. You have to put in for those, you know, get a reservation. All right. So like I said, we're going to end this here. That's the swimming pool over there. But yeah, if you're new, thanks for checking us out. Hope you enjoyed the ride. And if you're ever in Colorado Springs, you can stop at Angletech, and they can probably tell you how to get a hold of us. And you know, you can check out our blog that has information. And so yeah, all right, from the Ondos and out and about on Recumbents, we're going to say hope you have the rest of a great Sunday, and hope your next week is good. Get some you know, bicycle or trekking adventures in if you can. And always remember, Ride slow. Ride low. Ride recumbent. Bye for now.